para sa pagbabago. Sawa na ang bayan ko sa magnanakaw.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the Philippines, Mayor Rodrigo Roa Duterte.
Madilim na kahapon.
Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Acting Secretary Enrique Manalo, the Secretary Mark Villar, and the members of the Cabinet, Senator Alan Peter Cayetano, fellow workers in government, my countrymen. Good morning, and I'm glad to be back from my official visits to Cambodia and China and my working visit to Hong Kong. I returned with a renewed sense of belief that, indeed, the future of the Philippines is in ASEAN and in Asia. At Phnom Penh, I attended the World Economic Forum on ASEAN. I sought the support of stakeholders within the region and beyond in investing Southeast Asia. With growing economies, created talented and young workforce, the rich natural resources, Southeast Asia now stands at the center of the future of Asia Pacific. Responsible economic partners are our new allies in nation building and regional integration. Working with them, we can narrow the development gap. I spoke of the opportunities for mutually beneficial partnership, especially in the Philippines Infrastructure Development Program. With Build, I invited the stakeholders to take part in what is the largest effort to date to modernize the integrated Philippine infrastructure. And the message resonated particularly our commitment to provide the enabling environment of business to thrive where criminality is addressed, corruption is curbed, and contractual obligations are complied. In short, I told them that it is no longer the business as usual in the Philippines. The commitments are clear and the interests were articulated in my meetings with business leaders. Rest assured, your government will do everything to harness investments, both domestic and foreign, for the development of our people. In Beijing, I had the opportunity to address an even larger group of partners. With One Belt and One Road, or the OBOR, we have opportunities to synergize our efforts to bring progress and prosperity and the peace and stability that our peoples and our region deserve. We can look at ways of complement our integration efforts in Southeast Asia, even as we seek to reinforce ASEAN centrality. OBOR can be the parallel program or platform for growth in the region. We can use it to stimulate growth and improve market access as it facilitates connectivity and provide much-needed funding. I also had the opportunity to meet President Xi Jinping and Premier Lai Keqiang. We reaffirmed the commitment to build on the gains of my state visit last year and decided to accelerate the implementation of infrastructure projects previously agreed. We renewed our resolve to strengthen our friendship and mutually beneficial partnerships on the broad range of areas. We resolved to fully use the mechanisms we have established to dialogue openly, monitor progress, and ensure implementation of projects. We look forward to the inaugural meeting of the bilateral consultation mechanism on the South China Sea later this month. This is one step forward in peacefully managing disputes. With the signing of our key agreements on economic and technical cooperation, human resource development, energy and news publishing, we continue to look for ways to deepen collaboration. Growth and development ride on the back of peace, security, and stability. Your government will work with expand partnerships in the region to ensure that these are achieved. In my talk with the Filipino community in Hong Kong, I updated our kababayan on developments in the country as I thank them for their important contribution. Our people's welfare will always be at the center of your government's agenda. As your president, my mandate is not only to build infrastructure, but it is to build a strong and progressive nation. I will remain faithful and committed to this solemn vow. I woke up very early yesterday morning. We started our bilaterals and the plenary at 9 o'clock. I haven't had a wink of sleep since then, but I can take about how many? Regalado, 50 questions?
Good morning, Mr. President. First question is on the House Committee on Justice, having dismissed the impeachment charges against you for insufficient substance but not necessarily insufficient form.
Again?
Yung ano ng House Committee on Justice kanina,
Oo.
they dismissed
yung
the
impeachment?
impeachment proceedings against you.
Look, I was investigated by the human rights when Delilah was still the chairman. I was investigated again when she was the Justice Secretary. Then I was investigated again by the Senate. And I was investigated again by the House. Ano pa bang gusto nilang some guys are being taken for a ride 1,000 times over. Totoo yan, may namatay anak ng meeting. Ano ba namang gira na sa droga na walang namatay? Pero not in the character and kind that was dished out. Yun ang mabag-utos na gano'n, pati bata. Lukuhan. Kilala man ninyo ako.
Sir Alejano said, Congressman Alejano said that he's going to take the whole thing before the ICC since Congress dismissed the whole thing.
Yeah, you can go ahead. He's free to do it. This is a democracy. O ganun rin.
Sir, another question po. You've just been to Beijing, and then maybe on perhaps on May 19, there would be the start of bilateral talks concerning the discussions on the disputed area. Now the question is this: there were that much agreements between China and the Philippines, but are there safety measures, or how far can we go in order not to affect the talks?
One is not really the safety measure that you're talking about. The safety measure is that we avoid trouble.
Yeah.
We avoid violence and we avoid war because, frankly, we cannot afford it. And China cannot afford it also at this time. Masisira tayo po ng dalawa. Now, there is a dispute, and my last meeting was with the Premier, and before we boarded the plane, si presidential thing. And we decided that there is a time for me to ask about the arbitral ruling, but it is not now. We have to go into the mechanics of we have to have an agenda, the structure of the meeting, and the way how to present our case to them first, because we agreed to talk to have a dialogue. Now, maybe at some future time, these things will crop up. And you cannot avoid it because there is the arbitral ruling.
But it would not affect the deals that we have what is this, the deals or the negotiations that we have entered into with China in your recent visit
In the
under
end,
the OBOR?
in the end, it would always be legal. So, nandyan yung arbitral ruling rendered by a organ of the United Nations. Now, there will, I said, be a time that we'll have to talk about it, its implementation. You cannot avoid it. But it is not now. It is not the right time to do it.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Huang Zheng of CCTV.
Sino siya?
Huang Zheng of CCTV, Mr. President.
Yeah, I know.
Yellow, in other words.
I have to explain because my family name in Chinese Huang means yellow.
Yeah.
So that's why I choose this as my nickname.
Okay.
Sir, we would like to back to your China trip because in the Belt and Road Forum, President Xi said that this initiative comes from China but belongs to the whole world. And I know your government launched your Dutertenomics in Beijing. It seems use this Belt and Road Forum as a platform to show Philippines to the world. So I would like to know what's your comments about this Belt and Road Forum this time.
Actually, the road there is on the right side of the map. If you look at the Philippines, that would really be the international sea. So there's a road there. It's just imaginary, but the gates towards Indonesia down to Malaysia and maybe towards Australia starts in the Philippines. That's the imagined route. I don't know the other side of what was the presentation. But one thing is very clear to me, that they have the money and they want to share it. The rationale behind it is really China would want a peaceful region because a peaceful region translates into more prosperity for China. And China is very liberal and generous. And as a matter of fact, I would not want to. I will do it in an official pronouncement. But we already had about 100 million coming in, and they have promised us something like another 500 million. And of course, they are starting to. It's in the blueprint. I don't know at what stage it is, but they will start on the 2 bridges that will span the Pasig River. These 2 bridges are gratis. It's a grant. It's no payment, sort of a donation. But the other projects, the railway, they are very eager to start. They want to start this year. And I hope that everything will go on smoothly. At least before the end of the year, we see an effort on both sides to start on the project. We have always been very thankful to China for its generosity. And your presence here is one indication that we're doing all right.
Thank you, sir. May I have a follow-up about, because today you also meet with President Xi and our Prime Minister Li Keqiang in China, and we also sign a lot of documents. So since your last state visit to China, from now it's already over half a year, so how can we make this, how can we turn this kind of documents and commitments into actions more efficiently in the Philippines?
No, they're using the banks. Actually, what the grant is money. If it is a grant like the bridge, they will say it's gratis. But the money has, makano yung, and the banks come in, and there is the money, and if you're a businessman from China or anywhere, anyway, it's a bidding, you can participate. And we would have no objections of Chinese corporations participation in the bidding. Anyway, they're also businessmen, but we get the most of the bargain. And the money has been coming in already. To date, almost 100. No, I cannot give you the exact amount, but it's already here. 3 months ago, the money was already here and ready for use. It's a matter of the projects of the Philippine Authority announcing the bidding or the start of this project, and that is really business. Part of the money coming in is, I said, grants, which means we do not have to pay. But most of the infusion of is really for, you have to deal with the banks. So if you're a Filipino, you are engaged in a business and you want to start medium or small industries, all you have to do is go to the bank. Or we can get the money and through DTI, and our agriculture is back to normal. We have a increase of 2 billion. Yes. We're back exporting. My country is back exporting banana and everything that we can sell to them, to your country, and that is good. But in the past, we were almost being suffocated. I don't know why, but it could only mean that there was a question about ideology, and I don't know if it's really the vote now, but that should not be the case anymore.
Thank you so much, sir.
Good morning, Mayor. I'm Ruth Dumandan of RGMA Davao. Mayor, the Save Sulu movement is calling on you to declare martial law in 6 municipalities of Sulu because of the problem brought by the ASG. What's your thought on that, Mayor?
I need time to ponder on it deeply, and it is not only a political decision, it is an emotional decision. You do not tinker with the powers of extraordinary powers of the state. But I remember 2 months ago, when they were already throwing bombs in schools and planting IEDs in the high school. I issued a warning that do not force my hand to declare martial law, because if I do, I will solve everything. Not only about rebellion, I will solve everything that ails Mindanao. Pati na yung boundary sa lupa mo. I would not just tinker with it as if it's a plaything. It's a very serious one. But kung ako ang magmamartial law, there's no way of telling how long would it take us to restore order. Or we might not really be able to succeed. But just the same, I'm warning everybody that if I declare martial law, there is no telling how long would it be and for what purpose. I'm telling you now that I will not only decide to end rebellion, I will solve everything, I said, what's sick in Mindanao.
Second, Mayor, your expectation on the coming next round of talks in the Netherlands between NDF and the GRP?
I have been waiting for them. I'm ready. Nur Miswari is taking his time. I am not hurrying him up. DMI probably would be ready for talks. You know, I cannot I cannot proceed with the structure and even the provisions or the proposals without reading the Bangsamoro Transition Law. It will be useless exercise, actually. I have to have something which I can, craft on, and this is how it should be done in accordance with the Constitution. Always in accordance with law and the Constitution. O wala pa sa akin eh. Madali na yan kung ano eh. I'll just, I'm suggesting we copy the parliamentary type of France because doon you need a strong president but with very limited powers, 6 or 7. But because of the physical arrangement over land with so many islands there and the contending sentiments now, initially you would need a president, a strong one, to take care of the republic. In due time, when we have almost total peace, then we can think of a pure parliamentary government, putting it entirely in the hands of the elected representatives of the people. But until such time, if I were to embark on a new government, federal at that, I would insist that I am out anyway, but you must have a strong president. Delikado pag wala. I would not agree to it. Things can go wrong, especially if there is too much power devolved on, we still have, little did we know that narco-politics was already here about 5 years ago. It was not until after I became president that we realized the gravity of the situation. It was not until after I had an access to all the records of government, and you saw now by the hundreds of thousands surrendering every day. And these guys, and alam mo ang nangyari dito sa Amerika, pati sa EU, they played into the hands of the opposition. Pumasok sila doon sa, it was an issue sa campaign. But that, the issues in the campaign were carried on even after election. Just to do away with the president. Naglaro, and said they played into the hands of, yan ang nangyari. And, of course, yung affidavit na puro basura. Would you think I could ever order the killing of a child? Jesus Maria. If I have to do it, then I will resign. Really. Kung sabi ka, patayin mo yung mga bata. Anong klaseng presidente ka kung gano'n?
Thank you, sir.
Good morning, sir.
CNN.
I'm Ina from CNN Philippines. Sir, can you share with us details of details of your restricted meeting with President Xi? What did you
They were the
discuss?
last two officials that I met kanina. I met the premier. Then right after we went to another room to meet the president. Separate talks, but dito sa isa hard sell, yung isa naman lang about the things that they have promised us. And I'm very happy that they are sincere and they are really they're there to comply with their commitments to us.
What commitments are these, sir? Primarily economic deals po ba?
Eh,
Or did you go beyond?
Ito, marami ito ha. They are now opening new avenues for ano ba yun? They are opening the doors for our teachers, workers. Kulang sila sa mga craftsmen and engineers. So, they are welcoming almost teachers, English teachers. Kailangan nila ng marami. And if you try your luck there, I'm sure that you will make it. Ay, si ano, nandiyan kayo sa ano. By the way, I had a talk with President Erdogan and the Prime Minister of si Erdenbat sa Mongolia. They also want to, gusto nila na magsali sa ASEAN. Since I am the chair, ang Pilipinas nga, they wanted me to sponsor their entry. And I said, yes, why not? Yung babae, ang Chusi, ang nagsabi niya, have you considered the physical the geography, whether they're part of the ASEAN or not? But they are. I would say that they are. Turkey seems to be ambivalent to whether to be a bridge of Europe and Asia or being an Asian. Wala silang klaro dyan. There's always been an ambivalent view. Sometimes they say that they are part of Asia, sometimes they say that they are the bridge of Asia to Europe.
Sir, in Beijing, Mr. Joe De Venecia raised the possibility of getting into joint exploration projects with China and Vietnam in disputed areas in the South China Sea. Is this something that he consulted with you before saying, or is this something that you're actually considering?
Well, that was the proposal during Arroyo's time.
Sa inyo po, sir.
Let us see the wherewithals. Tingnan mo muna kung hindi ba ako malugi. It has to be fair and it has to be balanced. So, if we can get something there with no hassle at all, so why not?
Sir, and lastly, medyo na tanong na rin po siya kanina, but what do you expect to come out from the May 19 bilateral consultative meeting or mechanism with China? What directives do you have for our representatives there? Yes, sir.
First, because that is what the ASEAN, the countries are asking, and maybe also the Americans and everybody. There will be a code of conduct. I will not speculate on how or to the dimension rather of the agreement. It has to be worked out. So ayaw kong mag-speculate.
Thank you, sir.
Morning, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir Cedric Castic.
Musta ka, Dre?
I'm good, sir. Cedric Castic, GMA7. Sir, with respect to fundings from China and yung projects po na nasa pipeline, is the government still considering, sir, or pushing for the emergency powers sa transportation? Kasi I understand it also involves infra projects po. So pinupush pa rin po ba yun ng government?
No. If the Congress would want to give it to me, fine. It would expedite things. But if they are fearful of corruption there, because walang bidding-bidding yan, emergency powers, then they have every right to doubt. But I said I would not insist on it. If they do not feel safe or comfortable with my cabinet, fine. But I told them that corruption has no place in my government.
Sir,
It has no. There will never be a thing about large-scale corruption. I will not allow it.
sir, without emergency powers, how are you supposed to compel judiciary not to issue TROs, like you said in Hong
Ganito
Kong?
yan. This is the second time or third time I'll talk about it. Itong mga bidders, if A wins the bid, B and C loses, they're going to file a case not really for asking for justice or fair play. It's just to ipitin nyo yung A, nabayaran mo kami, a certain percentage of your kikitain mo dyan, para hindi ka namin guguluhin. And that has been the historical practice of the courts. I am now addressing myself to the judiciary. Do not, for Christ's sake, do not play with TROs. Kasi pagka ganun, TRO ka ng TRO, tapos nagdi-delay. I've been telling you, do not force me to disobey you. Kasi kayong ginagamit ninyo, alam ninyo, ginagamit niya ng negosyo eh. Na kung matalo, takbo ka agad. So there is the TRO, the project gets stalled. It is in the doldrum and you... Huwag ninyong gawin yan, mag-aaway tayo. Sigurado yan. If you start to mess up with the court processes just to earn money or doon sa contending parties o mismo kayo, magkakaroon ng pera dyan, bayaran, do not do it, I said. We are on the edge. Hindi ako papayag ng gano'n because I know it's plain corruption. Sabi ko na sa inyo, ayaw ko ng corruption sa gobyerno. Kung yung mga style na yan, magdidemanda lang para to get a bargain from the other side, he gets paid. And you say, give me but 2% of your earnings, what you get. They are not really there to fight it out. Ginagawang negosyo yan eh. At yung ibang judges, pati sa Court of Appeals, alam ko na pera-pera yan. Kaya huwag ninyong gawin yan sa akin. Mapipilitan akong sasulubugin kayo legally. I hope it would not go beyond the legal boundaries. Di ako papayag ng ganon. Kasi alam ko corruption yan. So, stop it. Yung mga TRO, you courts, you do not decide. We decide what is good for this country's projects. You are there to interpret the law. Do not decide for us. Kasi kami yung naghanap ng pera, kami rin yung papatakbo ng proyekto. Tapos kayo dyan, magti-TRO, knowing fully well that it is really a corrupt practice. Stop it. And I am asking the Supreme Court to do something about it. Kasi pag sinobrahan mo, sabihin ko talaga, huwag kayong maniwala dyan sa mga... Sabi, TRO ka, hiram ako ng hiram dito, kung saan-saan ako pumunta. Magigising ako ng alas 9, ngayon wala pa akong tulog, tapos TRO mo lang, ay na... Mag-aaway tayo niyan. I will do my share of cleaning government. Kung ayaw ninyo, di ako. I would have to, traverse the lines of separation of powers. But do not use it sparingly. Total, kung may corruption, dalawa na tayo sisigaw. Rest assured, I said, I will not allow it. But do not delay projects because you are issuing TROs left and right. You will paralyze government, magmukha akong tanga sa tao, matatapos na lang ako na TRO pa. And what's keeping you guys? I said, you decide the TRO. Minsan, maabot ng 6 na buwan, anak ng... Decide immediately because the project has to get started. Do not... God damn it. Huwag ninyong gawain yan. Kasi alam ko yung... I know how the game is played. Na, yung isang tanong ninyo doon sa Hong Kong, na bakit yumaman ako by 3 million? Sinabi ko, may sugar mommy ako ng mayaman. Naiinis eh. Ganito yan. Di ba sinabi ko sa inyo nung lumakas ako last 2 weeks, gumanon yung rating ko. Doon na nagbigayan ang mga tao ng pera. Yung iba nagdagdag, yung iba for the first time nagbigay ng pera. Siguro, anticipating my victory because of the rating. Yung 2,000,008, yung 3 million na yun ang 2,000,008, binayad ko yan sa ABS-CBN para yung propaganda ko makahabol. Despite na inuna ko bayad na ako, inuna pa nila yung propaganda na yung sa bata. Yung bawal eh. And despite there was TRO, ang ABS-CBN lang ang hindi sumunod. They just went ahead to announce and pati ang inquiry garbage. Now tell me, your media is to protect the truth. Nalista namin yun. Tinanong kami, saan na yung pera? Sabi ko, nasa ABS-CBN. Yung sa return ko sa election returns expenses, pinasok ko na. Kasi tinanggap ko yung pera. Pero binayad ko. Ayaw ko magsalita doon sa labas. Kaya ko lang sabihin sa inyo ang totoo. Actually, yung 2.8 yan, naging income ko tuloy. Wala bang gastos kasi hindi man si ABS-CBN na tanggap ng tanggap. Hindi lang ako, si Romulo, si Alan, Peter, Senator, marami kami. Almost all sa Congress may tama. Kakwa itong harap-harapan na nakaw. So what is your moral authority to tell us what to do, yung mga programa ninyo? Editorial, criticizing us. Would I ever believe you? So I told the Filipino community, huwag kayo basa ng Inquirer pati ABC yan. Hanggang drama lang yan sila mahusay. Yan ang negosyo nila eh. They do not get anything dito except during elections. Ano nila, mga rating nila, yung mga drama-drama nila, malaala mo kaya, utang ina mo, nakalimutan ko na kita, bakit alalahanin pa kita? Kaya ako ganito na magsalita. Yung Mylong dyan was leased with government for 25 years. Tapos another 25 years. Tapos isauli na sa gobyerno kasi hindi dadarin nyo. The owner is the Philippine Railway. Hindi na sauli, nagkakaso, ayang isauli ng may-ari, si Prieto, yung may-ari ng Inquirer. Tapos kung mag-publish, magsalita sa amin mga taga-gobyerno, halos magnanakaw na kami na dumating na sa gobyerno. Kayo, hanggang ngayon, ang Court of Appeals, nag-issue na naman ng TRO, anak ka nang. You better, twice dumating na yan sa Supreme Court. The Supreme Court, the highest court of the land, said it belongs to the government. It is really a property of government. Hindi lang talaga, kasi from Marcos to Aquino. Si Marcos binigay kay Rufino, yung may-ari ng mga sinihan ng sa Manila. Then, itong si Rufino, asawa doon kay Prieto, tapos Romualdez. So, Cory na naman, tapos Marcos to Cory. Hanggang ngayon, ang income ng mga establishments yan, ang nagkukubra, si Prieto, may-ari ng Donut. Do not steal the property of government. Kala ninyo kayo lang ang marunong. Putang ina ninyo, pati kayo magnanakaw. So do not tell us what to do. Kasi kayo naghahanap lang kayo ng butas sa inyo. That is corruption. of the highest order. Isauli ninyo yung property. Otherwise, I would tell the Filipino people, go there and occupy your property. Ayaw ninyo ibigay? With the Supreme Court ruling, sabihin ko, inyo, mamili kayo ng tindahan dyan. You choose. Either you return it the normal way, we follow the law, restore the ownership of government to this particular real estate property. Ipagbili ko yan at gawain kong mga bahay dyan, kayong mga kadamay, damay na tayo lahat dyan. So, kung gagawin mo yung sa sundalo na hindi ka nga natakot sa sundalo, gagawin mo. And I do not say anything illegal. It's property of the government, but here comes this TRO sa Court of Appeals. Please, kung puro man tayo abogado, wag na lang tayo magbulahan. Wag ninyo akong takutin yung korupsyon ninyo. Budas, magwawaswasan tayo in public. Ay nakikiusap ako sa inyo. Wag ninyong idamay ang gobyerno kasi kailangan ko ng pera para ipagawa ko ng mga bahay. Kasi yung sundalo, kinuha na yung mga bahay nila, maggagawa na naman ako dito. Tapos malaman ninyong agawin na naman, sabihin ko na lang, sige na lang. Maghanap naman tayo ng iba, paggawa natin, arya naman kayo, gawin naman ninyo, okay lang. Hanggang mapigil ang sundalo. Ngayon, sabihin ng sundalo na sobra na ito, bahala kayo. I need money to help the Philippines. Let go of the property. It is not yours. I'm going to sell it. Kung gusto ninyo, bilihin ninyo. Highest bidder. I-publish ninyo kung sino yung inquirer man. Kayo, kala ninyo kayo ang nakalamang dito sa mundong ito. At kung magbaboy kayo ng taga-gobyerno, akala ninyo kayo lang ang you think that you are the select few who are honest in this world. Kamali kayo dyan. Kamali kayo.
Sir? Sir, if I may, sir, going back to the TROs and judiciary lang, sir. In the event na mag-issue ng mga TROs, how does government go about implementing the
That's
projects?
why I am pleading to the Supreme Court to control pati sila alam nila yan. Yung racket na yan. Yung TRO. Pati yung mga sa gobyerno. Kita mo yung sa Maylong. Mapunta na sana sa atin. Nag-TRO na naman ng letse nandyan sa utang ina ninyo. Nandyan naman sa Court of Appeals. Kailan makuha ng gobyerno yan? Gusto ninyo bidding. Ibid ko yan. Sino pinakamataas? Gamitin ko yung gobyerno para paggawa ko ng bahay. Tsaka yung mga kaso na we're working on it to the pinaka-bargain. Yung silam, St. Fillers, ayaw ko. Mag-usap kayo ni Dominguez pati ni Dulay. Yan, kay mga kuripot yan. Ayaw magbitaw ng pera. Lalo na si Dulay kay Ilocano. O mag-usap kayo doon. Yan kasi kailangan ko ang pera, gawaan ko ng, I said, I will build a hospital in Basilan, Hulo, Mary Johnston, pati yung Pabilia. Doon mapupunta yung pera. Kung anong makukuha natin. Because it will be, it goes to the treasury, but I will ask Congress na kita man namin ito, bigay ninyo sa akin because I will build hospitals for the people in those places. Para ang mga Abu Sayyaf, kung matamaan sila, pwede lang dalhin doon sa hospital. Sabi ko ng mga sundalo, kung may tama na yan, putol na yung paa, huwag na lang. hanap pa na ng bagong kalaban na kondisyon. I'm happy also to report that the last remaining Abu Sayyaf member, baka lumabas naman sa news, was tapos silang lahat. All accounted for. Patay sila lahat. The last yung kanina. So, that should also give a lesson to everybody is interested to hear government.
Mr. President, our last question is from the Philippine News Agency, Lilian Meliehor.
Good morning, sir, and welcome home. Sir, my question, just a follow-up on the Bangsamoro peace process.
Ganda ng sapatos mong pula. Bagay sa'yo.
Thank you, sir. The 6-month liberty for Ms. Warias already lapsed last month. Is there any move from your end to seek extension on this liberty?
In the name of peace, I can wait. I will not be imposing timelines. Wag lang sobrahan ninyo, but I hope to really comply with my promise to the Moro people of Mindanao. Wag lang ninyong tagalan, but that commitment of mine, paski na hindi ninyong kailangan dapat ma-federal talagang government. Sumusobra itong, this setup is really conducive to corruption. Itong setup na to, big time corruption dito. Kaya kung pera-pera dito, malaki. Kaya that's why nakatutok ako sa mga opisina malalaki ang I'm trying to figure out how the money is being used. Yung may mga agencies na tag 150 billion ang mga appropriation, binabantayan ko talaga yan. And once I find out, you go.
On the BTC, sir, is there a word from BTC, Bangsamoro Transition Commission, as to when they could submit to you the draft new Bangsamoro Basic Law?
Ayaw ko si Jess Doresa. Tanungin mo na rin si Belio sa yung doon sa Norway. Ano ba doon, bot? Okay na ba? Sige ka lang dyan, okay. Kinam. Ayusin. Huwag kang matagal na. Ako basta, for as long as they are killing government security forces, I will not sign anything. Wala akong magawa. I have to protect my soldier. Ako yung commander-in-chief eh. Kailangan ko ibahog ko yun. So, but my offer to Season stands. He can come here. He can, in peace, I will guarantee safety and I will even underwrite his hospitalization. Hindi ko siya arestuhin. May sakit. Kayo ba rin ang nagpiyait na may sakit na siya? Ito, chismoso ito si Bebot. May masakit na si, you don't. Pag tao, may sakit tapos wala na. It's not good to be oppressive. Kulungin mo pa. Paggamot mo na lang. Tapos kung gusto niya, uwi siya ng Norway ulit. But that is my offer. With sincere, yan ang, hindi ko siya aresto yan. He can come home. We do not fight people who are helpless, not healthy anymore. It ain't that way. It's not.
Thank you, sir.
Oh. Pahiram na sapatos mo, ha? Pula, maganda yan. Gulado. Yung katabi mo, wala siyang itanong. Sino man siya? Kala ko bumilib ka sa akin kasi ang tingin mo. Kasama lang pala tayo sa Malacanang eh. So, that ends everything. Are you satisfied? Itong pagpunta ko ngayon dito, if you want to use an idiom, I'd say it was a windfall. You know why it's called windfall? In the olden times sa England, property ng mga baron, mga duke, yan lahat. Pati tao doon, propriedad niya. Di sila makakuha ng kahoy makaputol. But during a storm, malakas ang hangin, magbagsak yung mga kahoy. That's the time that they chop the woods for use. Kung walang hangin, wala sila. In winter, they freeze to death. Ganon kagago yung mga amo nila noon. Buti nga na nawala na yung royalty. So, that's why it's called windfall. I said it's right. Naguna-una na kasi gusto nang umuwi. Oh.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, members of the press. Good morning.
Ikaw ang Pangulo para sa pagbabago. Sawa na ang bayan ko sa magnanakaw na tao. Madilim na kahapon, ikaw ang mag-aahon. Sa piling mo, di ko mawawala ang korupsyon. Tayo na, Pilipinas, tayo na.